Okay, so my name is Ellen Everett-Hopman. I also go by the Gaelic name Salia, which means willow in Gaelic. And I'm a member of the Order of the White Oak, Ordna Darach Gil, which was officially founded at Samhain 1997, which is what Americans call Halloween. That's the English. And we have members all over the world. We have over 20 in Germany. We have members in Australia, Scotland, England. We don't have anyone in Ireland at the moment, which I wish we did. We have a lot of people in Canada, and then we have people all across the United States, Southwest, West Coast, East Coast, New England. So for that reason, we operate mostly online. We have a teaching program. Most people take about 3 years to do the training. And it's a very thorough training. It involves a lot of reading, and you work one-on-one with a foster. So you have 3 years to really get to know somebody and work with them in depth. You see the outfit I'm wearing? This is actually an Iron Age costume. This is raw silk, and this is linen, and this is amber. And you probably can't see, but I have brooches on my shoulders, and this is as Iron Age as I can make it. This is the website, whiteoakdruids.org. And it is by invitation only, so what you do is you go to the website and you apply. And that's basically it. So what I would like to do is talk about Celtic cosmology, and then after I've explained the way that the ancient Celts viewed the universe, then at the end I'm going to talk about Druid ritual form, and I'll be talking about different tools, Druidic tools and sacred symbols along the way, and I may also mention the books from time to time. So to begin with, how many of you are Wiccan or are used to working with the Wiccan holidays, the Wheel of the Year? The Celtic festivals look different. This is not Wicca. Wicca was invented in the 1930s by Gerald Gardner. And what we're doing is we're called Celtic Reconstructionists, which means that we're looking back thousands of years to the Iron Age and trying our best to recreate. Obviously, we can't do it exactly the way they would have done it then, because they did things like head hunting, and they had slaves, and they used women as units of currency, and we don't go in for any of that. But as far as the spiritual beliefs, that's what we focus on, and the basic view of the cosmos and the sacred. That's what we're focusing on. So the Wheel of the Year, imagine that's the year. And the Celts had 2 seasons. They had summer and winter. That was it. And the light half and the dark half. So we'll say this is the dark half of the year. So what festival begins the dark half of the year? Samhain. Yes. So Samhain. And the opposite festival of Samhain is what? Bealtaine. Yes. Bealtaine would be the Irish. And then in between Samhain and Bealtaine, what do we have? Sacred to the goddess Bridget, Imbolc, also called Oimelg. So Imbolc means in the bag or in the belly, because this is when the ewes are pregnant. Oi milk, milk of the ewe. Oi milk. This is when the ewes start to give milk. And so what's missing? What's between Bealtaine and Samhain? Lunasa. Yeah. So that is the Celtic Wheel of the Year. It's not solstices and equinoxes. The solstices and equinoxes are celestial, and these are earth festivals. And the Bronze Age people, who were there before the Celts, did the solstices and equinoxes. That's why you have, for example, Stonehenge is probably the most famous example, which is oriented to the winter solstice and the summer solstice. But that's pre-Celtic. It was not built by Druids. It was not built by the Celts. It is pre-Celtic. And in Ireland, there are a lot of Bronze Age monuments that are like Newgrange, for example, Brú na Bóinne, which has a light box so that the winter solstice sunrise shines into it for 5 days, actually, before and after the winter solstice. That is pre-Celtic. And they were focused on sky. The Celts are focused on earth. So what's going on at these festivals? Samhain, which we just celebrated recently, right, is when the cows come in. The cows have been out in the summer pastures, and they come in to the farm. And at that point, you have to figure out how much food you have left to feed the cows for the winter. And if you don't have enough food, what do you do with the extra cows? You make sausage. The Celts invented sausage. They also invented soap, and they also invented barrels, which you store, salted meat and things in. So that's why at Samhain, the first frosts are coming. The vegetation is dying back. Any food that's left in the field after Samhain belongs to the fairies, not to be touched. So the vegetation is dying, the farm animals are being slaughtered, and there's a lot of death in the air. So Samhain is the festival of the dead. So you honor not only the dead crops, the crops that gave their life so that you can live, and the animals that gave their life so that you can live, you also honor your dead ancestors who gave their life so that you can live. And that's a big facet of Celtic spirituality, is honoring ancestors. And we call it the dead, and the dead. The number 3 is very important. We'll get into that. But it's your own ancestors, your own personal ancestors, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. But it's also the dead who are under the ground, whose blood and bone created the soil on which you stand, the soil that grows the crops. And then the third dead are the spiritual ancestors. And these are the heroes, the fairies, the legendary people like Lou and Bridget, teachers that you had, the ones that have nourished your spirit. So we call that the dead,